Afternoon, everyone. We're fortunate that we've only got one injury concern. Uze Kasim has broken his rib, as you all know by now, so that should not take longer than 6 weeks at a max to recover. The rest of the guys, normal bumps and bruises. Actually, if you look at us going through a championship and a Super Rugby competition, I'm glad to say that we are, for all the rest of them, able to train this afternoon. So I think from a medical and conditioning point of view, we're in a very good space. Any follow-up questions to what Doc has been saying?
What was the sort of general physical state? Because the guys looked out on their feet. It was a high-tempo game at altitude.
Yeah.
Did recovery take longer than normal?
Not really, no. So we are, part of our recovery is we are a firm team that believe in sleep well, eat well, do the basics. So we only came through last night. So part of our recovery was to sleep late, get our massages, do our medicals in Bloemfontein, came through. This morning's gym session was a normal gym session, and I wouldn't say there's any more fatigue than after any other test match. Thank you, Doc. Thank you. Any other questions?
Hello, Russell.
Hi, Coach. Thank you. Oopsie. Okay.
Allister, just a word on the number 8 situation. Will you be calling one up, or will you be saying someone within the squad?
Like it is been said before, we've got a group of players that will stay with the team. Raymond Rule is back, Allister Coetzee is back, Dan Creel is back, and we full complement. And
Dan Dupree.
I was to say Dan Dupree in my way. Excuse me, is that Dan Dupree, obviously. And yes, full complement, we're fine, we're happy with that. There's no need to call in any extra number in the loose forward department.
Are you happy with the way the loose trio went when Uza went off?
No, I'm very happy with the performance as such. It's what we wanted, and the way we played on Saturday was really good. And unfortunately, a couple of opportunities when begging. I think if those situations stick, or we make better decisions in terms of the offload, there are a few tries out there that we're not happy about, obviously, and it's something that we've addressed this morning and yesterday, in our meetings, and see how we can sort of execute better this week on our attack. But I'm very pleased to say that it's rewarding to see the number of opportunities created. The finishing is still to come.
Allister, appreciating that, obviously there's this perception that to beat the All Blacks or to have a chance of beating them, you've got to be boring in a way. I think you said it as well when you were the Stormers coach.
A long time ago, Stephen.
Do you think that there's you guys were quite adventurous, but quite adventurous. Do you think there's a need to tighten up against the All Blacks, to be conservative in what you do?
No, I don't necessarily think so. I think this game has moved on. You also know that you cannot just give the All Blacks ball on the platter, and they're a good side, quality side. There's not one way of beating the All Blacks. You've got to be unbelievably accurate. You've got to make sure that there's not just one plan. We've got to make good decisions. I think, like I say, you won't beat them by just getting penalties. So you have to score tries in order to beat any New Zealand team, and we saw that in Super Rugby as well. So the decision making is the biggest thing, and our game managers, we've spoken about that. There's a ball and hand approach. There's one or two other things that you'd like to have a look at, but our DNA with this team has been together for 3 months, and it's the third week going, I think. You can see they're comfortable with ball and hand.
Allister, will you be looking at those first 20 minutes from Auckland where you really did have the better of the game as sort of part of your motivation to say, okay guys, look what you did there, and use that rather than worry about another 60 minutes?
No, I think that is what the name of the game is. I mean, even the Wallabies, they were 46, 3 points down. So it's important to start well. It's important to make sure that the basic things of the game is dominating collisions. It's a physical battle against the New Zealanders. That will stay and that will remain. It's what our game managers at the end of the day are 9, 10s and 15s. How will they sort of, put the pressure with ball in hand, put the pressure on defence? How are you going to do that? And I think as much as the scoreboard in the Albany game just snowballed and ballooned, as much as we feel we had opportunities which we didn't take. The big thing is you have to use your chances. You have to be accurate. You cannot afford not to have a good set piece. You cannot not have a good line-out and think you can beat any international side, for that matter. Even worse, the All Blacks. You have to be good at set piece. Whether you come with a different plan and whether you come with different personnel, but you have to make sure that is in place. And like I said, the other things you have to make sure, it's basic things, a breakdown, there's a challenge there's a contest all over the field. And we've got to make sure that you win those many battles.
Allister, you mentioned the line-outs. A guy like Brody Lukarik in the last season, he's obviously not there this weekend. How much of a role do you think that will play especially in the facet of play?
Yeah, look, Brody is a world-class player. He's a world-class player. But there's Barrett that will probably... he's just as good. And if you look at Barrett, what's his name now? Sorry, Bowden's brother. There's Barrett, there's Kieran Reid, and there's Sam Whitelock. And they come as a package together, playing together for the Crusaders for a long time. So they absolutely know what they're doing. Tui Pelota is also a fantastic a lock forward. Luke Romano, fantastic. So they've got great depth. And we don't expect that to be a lesser challenge. It's going to be a massive challenge for us at line-out time as well. But we need to make sure, like I say, plan, get that right.
Is there any emphasis, a bit more specific on the mental preparation? Will you do anything different just to try and get that 57 up there?
No, but it's out. It's out already. It's done. The 57 out. And now the psychologist is. I've got to be the psychologist when there's no one around. So that 57 is out of the system already. Therefore, we were unlucky not to have won last week. But coming back from such a big score, turn it around, and you play against a fantastic Wallaby side. If you look at Guinea, if you look at a guy who got his 50th cap, if you look at the inside centre, Bennett Foley. If you look at the inside set, Kurt Lebeel, it's in a season campaigner. He's back from Europe to play for them. They're 13 Kurandrani. The Hodge is a good quality fullback, and Falai at the back. So that was a classy side. And to come from that big loss in Albany and still, in a position to win it in the end, that is certainly turned the tables around and put the Albany match behind us.
Allister, you spoke about the missed opportunities. At times we actually did finish the one with Skosam, particularly nice ball from Young there, and he got over. What do you think can be done this week? Is there a particular exercise you can do with that? Is it a mental thing just to finish off those chances?
No, look, we had a long chat about players understand the next action isn't necessarily the one that counts. So we look at patience with ball in hand, building of patience, and the players obviously feel they do dominate the contact. They do the right decisions before contact. So it's just that last action isn't the final action. And we had a chat about that, Ashwak. We'll train and see how it comes out, how it pans out. We're facing obviously a different kind of defence this weekend, and that is one thing that the Albany experience taught us. And a lot of people would say, yes, record score and all that, yeah, who didn't struggle before to learn lessons and become good again? You have to go through that. So the Albany experience, as bad as it was also lessons that we learned from. And we could already have applied some of them against the All Blacks. And even for this weekend's game, we would like to see those lessons certainly executed and applied.
Right.
Alistair, you spoke about the... Oh, sorry. I thought... Okay.
Okay, let him go first. Yeah, his hand was up, then Stephen.
No, it's all right. Ashfaq, sorry.
Stephen.
You spoke about the importance of set piece, and from a scrumming perspective, in the recent past, the Springboks have always had dominance over Australia, which perhaps wasn't the case on the weekend. Appreciating the fact that you were down probably to your third choice, tighted prop. But do you see the need to possibly make a change to be able to strengthen your scrum a bit?
Yeah, look, we always pride ourselves on that, the set piece and especially scrummaging, and we have scrummed well since the French series, and subsequently, there are a lot of players injured, and we lost Frans Malherbe and we lost Connie Oosthuizen, but Rohan Dreyer needs a bit of time out there, and we still back Rohan Dreyer as a tight head. I just think that the picture differs from referee to referee a bit, and I must say that's an area where the Aussies must have worked a lot at, and worked on, and but if from coach's point of view, and I don't think you must go sit with scrum coach and ask him what he thinks, but from our point of view, there are a lot of things that's been we've been tested there at scrum time, and which wasn't picked up. But we know we have to come this weekend with a better scrummaging performance against the All Blacks. Yes, and a lot of we've got our policies in place and that, and besides looking in South Africa back home, we do have a shortage of tight heads at the moment, and overseas, unfortunately, that's why they're overseas, because it's a scarce sort of species, the species, the tight head, and that's why about 4 or 5 of them are overseas. So, but I'm happy with the way Trevor's developed there, the way Rohan, he's still young as a test match player at tight head, and that comes with maturity as well. And the more you play there, the better. And then we've got a young, exciting young tight head in Wilco Low. So those are the guys that will have to do the job this weekend.
Allister, we didn't ask you on Saturday, how did you feel Flo went, and what has he kind of brought to the team in the time he's been now with the camp?
No, look, and like I said, also Flo is a true professional. He's gone well. I'm very pleased with his game and the way he plays towards the ball and securing our possessions. Obviously, the breakdown, we were actually very good in terms of our attacking breakdown. That's why we had width, we had quick ball. We scored some great tries, and Flo has really played he was instrumental in that, a big role in that. I'm pleased with his game knowledge, and his experience that he brings to the whole thing. He's assisting the leaders and Eben massively, and so yes, he's been a great adding value for us since he's arrived here.
Adnan?
Allister, just you mentioned earlier about the lessons learned. If you look at the British and Irish Lions series against the All Blacks, obviously the running side and the Irish have beaten. What lessons have you taken from that game, especially with regards to the defense, the rush defense that we use? Yeah,
you must know how to deal with it, and they've dealt with it very, very well. Then obviously, the British and Irish Lions, if you look at their team, they all seasoned internationals and quality players. So there's composure there. There's composure in that team. So the composure that you saw from them, you might not just see now, because this is a team that's just got together this year. They're still young, but they've learned. So that's also one other lesson that they have learned, hopefully, is to show that composure under pressure.
It depends which side of the Indian Ocean you're on, but Evan's defence of Dylan Lades was a great side of the captain sticking up for his team. What was your...
No, Craig, just now you say I encourage off the ball stuff, and because you're right when you say that, but someone else will write there could say encourages Eben Etzebeth to be, off the ball, and no, I don't say you, but that's the media. But Craig, that's fact. That is what this contest is all about. When we play in Albany or in South Africa or in Hamilton or wherever, that's going to be there, and it's a physical game, and yes, you make sure that you want their dominance. It's just important to be disciplined, because I think that's one area where we could be better and not concede soft and silly penalties. But that's one way of, if you look at the one try that they scored, the Wallabies, the winger in the left corner, is penalty, kick out, line out, penalty, drive, kick out, and then they got into a half. So we must make sure that we don't give soft and silly penalties away. But I would like to see the guys right on the edge.
Allister, Brendan's tirade on Twitter, how do you comment on that he went on Saturday night?
Sure, but I don't have Twitter. But I think whatever Brendan reported, we've got a process going in this team, and we focus on the process rather than a result. I mean, if you're outcomes driven all the time, you hardly will get to the next scrum. So that is what I feel is probably been misunderstood. We will continuously focus on our processes. The result will definitely, once we get that right, once we are physical, once we win the collisions and dominate that, get quick ball for our backs to score tries from, that is playing in the right, that's a process. And once you do that, the result will definitely come.
Follow-up question, is the pressure worse this week on you? Some people call you a dead man walking.
Don't worry about them. That's some people. I'm also the resurrected guy walking, so don't worry what people say. I'm fine, as you see me now, alive and kicking. And yes, a nice challenge that we're looking forward to. Really a great challenge to play the All Blacks again at Newlands. A lot of All Black supporters, and we embrace that. That is the challenge of Test match rugby in the country. So I'm fine, thanks.
Allister, what did you make of, or do you make anything of the All Blacks performance over the weekend in Argentina?
At Sarsfield, they've been, started again like a well-oiled machine, and they are a well-oiled machine. The wing and the 14 are all back, looking, whatever they do is sharp and crisp, and it's working. Sometimes in this game you also need a bit of luck. You need a bit of a break, and the ball just favouring you, you get the rub of the green. But their whole plan and the players, they ooze of confidence, and I think that's their big plus. They're a confident team. They've got 8 top players sent to South Africa. That's a plan, rested well, ready for the box. So whatever they do, they believe in, and it's paying off for them. So this is our challenge. Yes, we have improved since last week, and we're hoping to improve again this week. And we will focus on the mini battles and not on the outcome.
Allister, I think you were quoted saying that beating the All Blacks, people might think that you were winning a fool's paradise.
I was caught out by?
You were quoted as
quote out, sorry.
You were quoted saying that. I just did from my side, I want to know, look, obviously the last result was 57-0. Do you think there's less pressure on, there will be less pressure on you guys this week because of the fact that the Spurs will be lose the last time? So that actually alleviates the pressure, ironically.
Oh, well, let me put it this way, guys. We never prepare to lose a test match. Doesn't matter who it is against. We never prepare to lose. But it can happen. And teams, when the one team is firing like the All Blacks did on the day, you just have to clap hands. What can you do? You're trying your best. No lack of effort. Maybe mistakes that you forced in, and it doesn't go your way. What can you do? So, the only thing that you can take from that is being able to know how to fix it. And we've had a thorough look at that. And we're looking forward to the next one.
Thank you, Coach. We'll go to Afrikaans now, and then we'll wrap.
Doc, if you could just give us an update in terms of medical updates.
Afrikaans, geen probleem. Goeiemiddag weer eens. Van 'n mediese oogpunt, enigste besering van die naweek is Oseer Kassim wat 'n rib gebreek het, en Oseer gaan tot en met 6 weke uit wees. Die res van die span het maar die gewone stampuntstote na 'n toetswedstryd, maar ons sal hulle reg hê vir die naweek.
Craig, is hy kap?
Allister, can we just add an Afrikaans that we never prepared to lose the test match,
Nou, ons voorbereiding is ongelooflik goed. Jy weet, my slagspreuk hierdie jaar is, ongeag van die resultaat of die uitslag, weet ek die span is goed voorberei. Daar's 'n duidelike plan Daar is duidelik is 'n eenvoudige plan en die spelers verstaan dit. Meer as wat die bestuur dit moet verstaan. Die spelers verstaan dit. Want onder druk moet hulle tog uitvoer. En met elke toets is ons beplanning goed. En ons het aanbeweeg as 'n span en besef dat daar nie een manier is van hoe om die wedstryd te speel nie. En om die taktiek te kan verander. En ons is nou daar waar ons as 'n span gegroei het om te kan verander tussen planne. En dis vir my 'n massiewe positief.